Being a Major League general manager is not for the faint of heart or those who need 8 hours of sleep a night. Trust me, I know all too well the anxiety of being awake at 3 in the morning thinking about the bullpen. Despite the sacrifices, the competition and the winning make it all worthwhile when it comes together. Here's a crash course on some of the traits of a successful Major League executive. First things first.
It's great to have you here. Now, you're still doing games with what? It's Spectrum Sportsnet LA.
Yes, do 100 games,
right.
Pre-game, post-game for the Dodgers Network, loving it.
Right. So and dabbling, you're working.
Yeah, I'm working.
You're still out there most every day.
Yep.
I love the origin story, right? And you talk about humble beginnings. At one point, you're living in your in-laws' basement, wife and a baby.
Yes.
And you got no job.
No job.
And you got a house, and you go to try to get a job with the Cubs. Tell us about that.
Well, I was between jobs, and the newspaper I was working for in Philadelphia folded. We had just had our first son, and interest rates were 18%. I had just bought a duplex, only had 29 years and 11 months left to pay it, and no gig. And
right.
I went back to Chicago, and Dallas Green helped me out. Bob Eibach was their PR guy, and then he called and met with Dallas, and he said, there's 2 jobs here. Each one will pay $13,000. You can interview for both, one in publications, one in media relations. I said, I need more money than that. He goes, there's no more money than that. He says, there's a line of 50 people out the door looking for the jobs.
Right.
And I said, I tell you what, give me $1,000 to move, give me $2,000 more, give me $15,000. And he says, no, it's 13. I said, give me a couple of seconds. I said, give me $15,000. I'll do both jobs. And he says, you'll do both jobs.
Right.
I said, give me both jobs. I'll go up. Give me $2,000 more. I'll do both jobs, and we'll go from there. And I stopped him cold, and he says, you got it.
There you go.
Put me on my way for 35 years.
Right, so it wasn't easy breaking into baseball back then?
Oh, no.
You're right.
Oh,
yeah.
no.
It's your job to have a professional vision and set the course, believing that your path will lead to success. Second, you need to be an evaluator of players and people, not to mention a psychologist. These are grown men with life-changing paychecks, and sometimes they will need to hit the reset button. You also need to be a salesperson. Sell them on the team, the city, and most importantly, the opportunity to win it all. It's crucial to be calculating and a part-time fortune teller, especially when it comes to prospects. We all know the saying, prospects are suspects until they are big leaguers. When you find that special person and player, you need to hold on to them like a winning Powerball ticket.
Right now, Clayton is joining Kelly Tennant and Ned Colletti live on our set at Dodger Stadium.
Speaking of all-stars, there's an all-star pitcher tonight, Alex Wood.
Yeah.
You're a student of the game. You know how pitching goes. What have you seen different from him, if anything, this year than last year? Any one thing that stands out?
Well, anytime you're on this type of run, I feel like the consistency has to be there every single night. And so, you know, every 5th day, it seems like Woody brings the exact same stuff to the mound.
Getting 3 runs was a great start. Giving up 4 the next inning was not. At that moment in that game, when you think about how tough it is to score runs, and we had scored 2 and we had a couple other opportunities not being able to cash them, when the opponent can steal a run like that, taking a walk and going first or third on a walk and then having a sac fly. You work so hard for your runs, and then you give back half of what you got. Just like that, momentum changer. The draft process offers an unpredictable, precarious path. Not only do you have to love a player, the teams who pick in front of you need to love somebody just a little bit more. We picked 7th. We needed 6 other players to be called who weren't named Kershaw. When one looks back on that draft, they will find 3 of the greatest pitchers of a decade picked within 5 spots of each other. At 11, Arizona selected Max Scherzer, a Cy Young Award winner with 2 no-hitters. At 10, San Francisco selected Tim Lincecum, 2 Cy Young Awards, 3 World Championships, and 2 no-hitters. And at 7, the best of them all, Clayton Kershaw with 3 Cy Young Awards and an MVP.
You and this team kind of sit in a unique place right now. 48 games over, massive lead over the second-place team. What do you look for the last 48 games? Is there things you focus in? 1 or 2 game lead or 1 or 2 game deficit would be a different look. What are you focusing on?
It's a good question. We actually spent some time talking about it a little bit in Arizona, and it's not to take away from the focus of, you know, grinding through each game and that mindset.
He had, like we said the other night, he had very few bad innings, let alone games. And when you talk about a full season, 220-some innings, and you can pick out a few, you can remember a few bad innings for a starting pitcher, that's remarkable. And you talk about whip. In the history of baseball, going back 140 years, whatever it is, There's been 11 pitchers that have had a whip lower than he for a season. 11 out of how many thousands?
When you open the door a little bit and tell us if you're going to bring up any big right-handed pitchers that went to Vanderbilt, maybe for September, maybe
with the initials WB, maybe. Yeah, I mean, this is all part of the plan at the beginning of the season. It's his first full year back from Tommy John.
Won a World Series ring in 2009 with the Yankees. And then somehow he showed up with a weapon and a mask and got Ned to sign him for 2 years.
Turn me into a broadcaster.
And grounds out to shorts.
What did he tell Nomar one time, that they were the same kind of hitter? Nomar just got better pitches?
Yeah, that's exactly what he says.
At the end of the day, being a big league general manager is a math problem. Intellect plus street smarts and grit times patience, passion, and compassion. And a dose of good fortune can add up to 5 straight division titles and a chance to take home the crown.